Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Smart and Vinyl, where we're going to talk a little records, a little music, and a whole lot of meh. So, thanks for joining me tonight, and I'm back in black tonight. So, you know what that means, records. So, let's just get into it. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm still sick. I know I was sick in the last video, I'm still sick. I was going to make this video this weekend, but it's not going away. So I know I'm a little BR3 in my voice, and I'm going to try not to cough, but let's just get through it, okay? So you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen someday. The time was going to come. Rodney is finally leaving K-Rock. And I know, I kind of thought he'd die first, but no, he's leaving. And some people are sad. Some people are. I know I haven't listened to Rodney probably like in over 25 years. And I'm not shitting on him because actually he is the mayor of Sunset Strip and he is responsible for a lot of great things. But I mean, I don't know. I have issues with Rodney and I'll get into that. But I didn't know how to go about this video. I mean, like, do I talk about Rodney or do I concentrate on the record or try to do both? Do I talk about the bands on the record? I don't know. So I'm winging it this time. So in case you don't know, Rodney Bingenheimer is leaving K-Rock on Sunday. He'll do his last show. I think it's on, what is it, like technically Monday nights at midnight. I'm sure he'll have like special guests and all this exciting stuff, so I guess stay tuned. But if you don't know who Rodney is, like I said, mayor of the Sunset Strip. That's what his documentary calls him, and he is indeed the mayor of the Sunset Strip. He is originally from Northern California. He came to Southern California in the early 60s. It's interesting. His mother was kind of like a autograph hound, hanger-oner. His dad was kind of the same thing. So in other words, assholes. And his mom just like drove him down to Southern California, dropped him off at Connie Stevens' house, and was like, "Oh, get her autograph for me," and then took off, left him there. So Rodney made do, though. Rodney figured out how to survive the mean streets of the Sunset Strip, I guess, and he made it just like at the right time because he ended up meeting everyone. The Byrds, Sonny and Cher. He auditioned for the Monkees, in the Davy Jones role. Didn't get it, but he was a stand-in because he kind of looked like Davy Jones, and he just met everyone and was at the right place at the right time. He did a lot of publicity for people. Everyone loved him because they felt like he was like pretty truthful. He knew a lot about music and was a true fan, but he wasn't like overwhelming, pushy, anything like that. Like, he was not a hanger-oner. He was a mover and a shaker. So, and just Rodney's life really is amazing, and the people he's known and the things he's done. And I'm sure there's so much I'm not even gonna like touch base on. I'm just going over the basics. So, late 60s. Stone Ponies asked him to do publicity for him, and he was like, no, I'm not feeling it, which I don't blame him. He's like, I'm gonna go to England with Bowie instead, which, believe me, I would do that too instead of fucking working for the Stone Ponies. But anyways, so he went to England with Bowie like early 70s, like 1970, 71, and discovered all the, glam rock and, T-Rex and Slade and everything great. Brought a bunch of the records back, brought the whole thing back, and opened his club, and it's Rodney's English Disco, and that was like early 70s, and that was the place to get any kind of English rock, glam rock, anything. Celebrities went there, hung out there, danced. It sounded amazing, and I lied. It is a little mashup today. So I actually have a matchbook from Rodney's English Disco, and I have to say, this is my absolute favorite matchbook of all time. When people ask me what's your number one favorite matchbook, this one's it. Because one, how many of these really survived? Even this one is pretty beat up. So, and this was given to me by a member of LA rock music royalty, and I will love this matchbook forever and cherish it. But as you can tell, they had dancing, food, English beer, wine and juices, pinball, which I love pinball, movies, and fun at Rodney's English Disco. So, but 1975 rolled around, and Rodney was like, because disco started to mean something different, and it was, what we know as disco. Closed the club. It was kind of just being Rodney. I guess. K-Rock offered him a gig, and at that time, like, no one knew what fucking K-Rock was. No one gave a shit. In 1976. And for whatever reason, maybe because of his stature and his expertise, they gave him his own reign for his show. So he played whatever the fuck he wanted to play. And because of that, he really, like, championed and was a big supporter of the local punk scene at the time, local new wave scene, everything like that. And a lot of those bands got their start because of Rodney. And it was a very grassrooty kind of deal. Like, they would knock on the door, Rodney would show up, hey, here's my tape, okay. And if Rodney liked it, he played it. You know, simple as that. Because of, you know, the second wave, I guess technically third wave of Rodney curated music, he put out, well, K-Rock, him, whatever, put out 3 compilations, and they're called Rodney on the Rock. A lot of people call him Rodney on the Rag. You know, that's fine. I have one of them here, and we'll go over it a little bit. Like I said, I can go on and on about Rodney, but let's just get to the record. So, here it is. It's beat up, but that means it was very well played and very well listened to. Rodney on the Rock. 1980, put out by Posh Boy, which was a local label at the time. I do believe there's 2 labels, 2 versions of this, and I'll show you. One is the label with the silver and black Posh Boy, and one is pink, and the pink one's pretty rare, so I'll show you. So very cool, very, very, you know, original, you know, late 70s, early 80s punk rock, you know, LA scene. I don't have the pink label, but like I said, that one's pretty rare. So this is what I said it was and what Rodney said it was. Just local bands at the time. He calls it California hits, and they were indeed California hits. Songs by The Adolescents, Agent Orange, Black Flag, Circle Jerks, The Crowd, David Microwave, Fender Buddies, The Clan, The Nuns, Rick L. Rick, Simple Tones, UXA, Vidiots, Wigglers, and more. So it's pretty good. It's exactly what you think it's going to be. It's, you know, LA, punk rock, new wave. Side note, you know, I appreciate it for what it is, and it was very innovative at the time. And if I had to pick a genre of punk rock, I would pick LA punk rock. I'm so over it. I've been over it for a long time. I like X. I'll still listen to X. I'll still listen to like Black Flag a little bit and Fear, but I'm over it. Maybe because I just listened to it a lot back in the day. I dated a guy that was really into that scene because he was like around then, and that's all they would talk about and listen to, and I'm like, enough, you know. But it's good, and luckily all these songs are really fast, but it's exactly what you would think it would be. But fun fact, it comes with a flip side zine, and it just kind of interviews, you know, some of the bands. Like there's Rodney with his record on it, and if you find this record, look to make sure it's in there. I think the other versions have fun stuff too. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if they have zines or not, but you know, basically it's just, you know, they talk about the bands. It's very old school zine. See, you know, Agent Orange, Adolescents, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and read through it. I want you to go out and buy it and listen to it and then read it. But, you know, for its time, this is pretty amazing. You know, there wasn't a lot of comps with punk bands, not even a lot of punk records, I guess. And it's great that they really did have a champion who played this stuff and got it known and supported it. So that's great. Great for these bands. Great for Rodney. On side A, there is an introduction by Brooke Shields on this record. So it's, you know, hi, I'm Brooke Shields, and you're listening to Rodney on the Rock. But other than that, it's a pretty cool record. Like I said, try to get the pink label. But if not, at least get the silver and red label with the magazine. So anyways, that's it, I guess. Like I said, I didn't want to go on and on. Plus, I'm still like all sick. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. You know, now that Rodney's leaving, and he says he's still going to be around, which I'm sure. Oh, I did tell you why I'm irritated with Rodney. This is why I'm irritated with Rodney. Okay. In the documentary, right, when you watch it, you feel kind of bad for him, and you're like, oh yeah, like when that girl fucks around and totally leads him on, and it's like, oh no, I want to be friends. You feel bad for Rodney for that. I don't feel bad for Rodney when he threw that hissy fit about his friend, the guy from Dramarama, getting his own radio show on, 107.1, and Rodney's like slamming the fucking door and having a temper tantrum up the stairs. Really? Motherfucker, you know everyone in the world. You know, let this fucking washed up fucking one-hit wonder band guy have his radio show. You know, really. And then, like, yeah, it didn't even last. So, whatever. That totally soured me on Rodney. I was like, you know, I really liked you until then. But I've seen him at Cantor's before. He's actually held the door open for me at Cantor's. You know, so, yeah, that's the reason I don't like Rodney. It was that fucking crybaby fit. That ruined, like, any cred for me with him. But, you know what? I still got to give him cred. I mean, really. It's pretty amazing. The stuff that he's, you know, created, brought to California, experienced, lived, you know, it really is amazing. And the documentary's pretty good. He should write a book if there's not one already. There'd be tons to read. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and you know, tell your friends, tell a friend. And that's it. So, you know, but what this means though, with Rodney leaving, that only leaves one person left, and that's Art Laboe. And Art Laboe is older than Rodney. So what's going to happen when, like, Art Laboe finally dies? You know, Art Laboe's never going to die. It's going to be like a head in a jar on a robot body, like on The Simpsons. But, you know, now that Rodney's gone, what am I going to do? What are all LA music history fucking nerds going to do when Art Laboe dies? But I'll tell you what. Boom. I'm prepared, bitch. Anyways, see you on the next Smart and Vinyl. Thanks.